The weirdest thing has been happening this week. People who previously were big supporters of Donald Trump, people who almost certainly voted for him themselves and who definitely told other people to vote for him, are starting to turn against him.
Geez, Steve, I wonder who you could be misrepresenting here. Something tells me that their names sound similar to DJ Dirk. Oh, and while TJ, or the Amazing Atheist, may have been a little soft on Trump, in my opinion, he didn't exactly support him and tell his followers to go vote for him. He made 2 videos making the case for each candidate prior to last year's election. The Clinton video is actually much longer than the Trump video, so please stop spreading this bullshit around, you dishonest, mealy-mouthed fuck.
There was another instance that happened just recently from a fellow YouTuber of mine, unfortunately, a professional shithead, a professional cyberbully, someone who is a racist and a misogynist and a rape apologist and just generally a huge, gigantic, intolerant, obnoxious piece of shit.
As often as you spit those words at people, I don't think this means much. It means even less if you know much about the content that TJ puts out, and it means nothing if you actually know what those words mean. In the tiny world of Steve Shives, criticism is hatred, disagreement, heresy. Oh, and Steve, give it up, man. Anyone with 2 fucking brain cells to rub together can figure out who you're talking about. Grow a pair and say the name.
Of shit, who told people to vote for Trump, who told people to say, yeah, vote for Trump, burn the system, fuck the system, vote Trump, fuck Hillary, let's send a message.
Here's both of those videos I mentioned earlier. You know, the ones where he made the case for both candidates and put more time into the Hillary video than the Trump video. You know, the YouTube search function is really hard to use, but it's okay, Steve. I got you covered.
Message, and for the first month or so of Trump's administration, as he has gone out of his way to fuck immigrants and fuck refugees, and he has made repeated statements that have been dismissive or derogatory toward black folks. He has a whole history of racism. He has a whole history of sexism and misogyny. He has a whole history of rape apologetics. He has an entire public history going back 40 years of being a huge fucking intolerant, ignorant, self-aggrandizing asshole. None of that was enough to turn these anti-SJW YouTube shitheads against Trump.
You're probably not aware of this, but while I may have felt that TJ was a little soft on Trump, he by no means gave Trump a free pass. He and the other hosts on the Drunken Peasants podcast have been criticizing Trump since before he was even elected, and continue to do so. But given how you're such a petty human being, I don't think you even take the time to watch the content of someone you disagree with before you put a video out like this. Nope, can't risk any exposure to all them isms.
Against Trump. They were all for him up until the point when this week his administration said they were going to start cracking down on recreational marijuana use. Uh-oh, he's fucking with my buzz. Fuck Trump.
Putting aside your misrepresentation of the Amazing Atheist for a moment, I have to point out that everyone has their issue. And some people have issues that they will support to the detriment of others, and even people like you sometimes do this. Not that I'm saying that's right. And to some people, getting the first female president in office was more important than any economic issue. Hell, I even think Hillary herself felt that way to some extent. Populist economic message be damned, we need a pussy in the White House. And just so we're clear, I didn't support Trump, nor did I buy his populist rhetoric. But that's not the point. The point is that to people like Steve, the identity politics took precedent over the economic state of middle America. People often see their own interests as being more important than those of others, regardless of whatever side they happen to be on.
Fuck Trump. If he's going to start fucking with my buzz, well then to hell with Trump. Let's throw Molotov cocktails. Let's riot in the streets. If he's going to fuck with my buzz, then I'm sorry. I'm off. I can't support Trump after that. The moment that he starts to threaten to inconvenience them, all of a sudden it's, oh, this is intolerable. This is tyranny.
Again, Steve, he did not support Trump. Those videos were making the case for each candidate. You would know this if you actually bothered to follow or read up on any of the people that you happen to have a disagreement with, but instead you would rather block yourself off to the world. No dissent allowed. Also, please do go read up on what hyperbole is.
This is tyranny. We have to fight this. When he's fucking other people, oh, hey, he's just triggering snowflakes. He's just triggering these precious little snowflakes by threatening to revoke their health care or their ability to live and exist freely in public spaces.
Citation needed on that right to live and exist bit. I assume you're talking about trans folks here, and last I checked, there weren't roving squads of jackbooted Trump thugs going around executing trans people. Well, I'll be damned. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you do know what hyperbole is after all.
The system. But as soon as the fire from that burning system starts to get a little too close for comfort, all of a sudden, oh, we can't support this. This is outrageous. Fuck you.
No, Steve. Fuck you. Yeah, some people probably did act like that, supporting Trump until their pet issue was threatened. The person you're talking about, the person whose name you don't have the nerve to say, TJ Kirk, wasn't one of those people.
That is my message to all of these people, these Johnny-come-latelys, who are all of a sudden realizing that maybe Trump isn't such a great guy, and maybe Trump should be protested and resisted because now he's starting to threaten their shit. Fuck you forever.
I hear that criticizing someone without flying into hysterics until they cross a line on an issue important to you is the same as supporting that person until they cross said line. Okay then.
Forever. Go to hell. You were completely indifferent to the suffering and the marginalization and the mistreatment and the denigration of your fellow Americans when it was on the basis of their gender identity or their sexuality or their race or their country of origin or their religion. As long as it wasn't a group that you were a part of or that you identified with, you were fine with it. In fact, you probably joined in. You probably were a cheerleader and a ringleader and an instigator of this sort of thing. And you would lead abuse against other people who stood against Trump for that stuff.
Given your definition of abuse, maybe. He has indeed mocked some of the people who are going all Vive la Resistance because of Trump. But calling him the ringleader to actual abuse of people standing against Trump? Hardly. If mockery is abuse, then we're all guilty. That, and I like how you made this about identity towards the end. I guess you have to broaden the scope of who you're talking about, lest the viewer catch on to your personal vendetta and butthurtery towards TJ.
Piece of shit. So many people who are in this boat now, so many people who are in this group who were so pro-Trump during the election and for the first few weeks of his administration, and now they're starting to come around. These are the same assholes who like to call themselves rational. We're the rationals. We're the skeptics, right? We're the ones who are smart. We don't care about feelings. We only care about facts and logic and rational arguments, right?
They care about skepticism, rationality, and logic, or reals before feels, more so than you do. That much I know.
Arguments, right? I submit that you deserve to have your rational card revoked when every fucking position you voice is from the perspective of the universe revolves around me. Because the universe revolves around me is not a rational statement.
He spends the rest of this video just raging about how TJ is a selfish piece of shit. And okay, he may not be entirely wrong about that. He is wrong in this context, though. And he seems kind of blind to his own faults when it comes to elevating his own concerns over those of others. Honestly, Steve, I don't have a problem with you for disliking Trump. What bothers me is how you talk about everyone who tries to keep a level head. Anyone who tries to play devil's advocate, offer a different perspective to your own, or even remain neutral when it comes to Trump, becomes your enemy. You're a tribalist moron, and I'd usually find it amusing how fucking thick-headed you are, but I just can't feel that way. Knowing what you used to be, I feel nothing but pity for what you've become.